Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about having a Sagittarius sun and Scorpio moon in a natal chart. Now, first off, the basic character, which is the sun, in this case, the sun being in Sagittarius, can be very expansive, optimistic, exuberant, jovial, blunt, and self-righteous even. Now, on the unconscious side. Now, the sun represents the conscious side in astrology, the moon is the unconscious side. And on a more unconscious level, the person with the moon in Scorpio, the person may be intense, resourceful, incisive, probing, and passionate. And this could be where one may bring that Sagittarius optimism into something Scorpio related, which can include psychology, the occult, which includes astrology, or some other examples: locksmithing, recycling, investigation, transformation. And the sun in astrology is connected with our basic wants. And the Sagittarius sun wants to explore, expand horizons, and be that perpetual learner. And the moon is about our emotional needs, and Scorpio moon needs power, control, things that are complex, intimate connections, and going beyond the surface and superficiality and subterfuge. The true self, which is the sun, in this case the sun being in Sagittarius, can be enthusiastic, jovial, and philosophical. And the inner self, which is the moon, and in this case the moon being in Scorpio, can be, you could say, obsessive, transforming, and secretive. The sun in astrology reflects our drive and motivation. And this person may be driven and motivated, which is the sun, to expand horizons and express benevolence and goodwill. And with the moon in Scorpio, it might be feeling more passionate, might be done with more passion and desire and emotional intensity. Um, and the sun, this can be, if you have this, there could be more intensified focus. And focus is the sun on one's emotional needs if this conjunction aspect. Now, um, let's say the Sagittarius sun is at 3 degrees and the Scorpio moon is at 28 degrees. That would form an out of sign conjunction aspect. And some people don't, astrologers and astrology enthusiasts out there don't agree, in out of sign, conjunctions and aspects in general. Well, I could, illustrate through this example why I believe it's valid. Because, like in this case, like with the Sagittarius sun is at 3 degrees and the Scorpio moon is at 28 degrees, you're talking about, 5-degree disparity. They're very close proximity with each other, the sun and the moon. I believe there would still be friction because of that. And, and there's still, I believe the aspect is valid even though it's out of sign. And I do, I apply this with, you know, if you have the sextile aspect, you're talking about the trine, the square, the opposition aspect, or even the inconjunct aspect in astrology. Now, the sun in astrology is associated with our actions, and the sun in Sagittarius, the actions can be done with benevolence. It can be associated with expanding one's horizons, and may be done with a lot of exuberance and enthusiasm. And when you look at the, the moon is about our reactions and responses. And the moon being in Scorpio, the reactions may be done, in a way to resolve crisis or deal with some emergency. It can also be, the reactions can be very, very intense to say the least, with more emotional intensity and with more passion and desire. And on an emotional level, I mean, the moon and Scorpio, even though the person can have a strong ability, to control the emotions, have power over the emotions to some degree when they're unleashed. They can be very, powerful and intense, even convoluted. The person may be irritably emotional, Um, and the thing is, I want to get to now, the sun in astrology that's associated with the biological father. So the biological father may actually be a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody those characteristics. Now, the moon being Scorpio, the mother may actually be a Scorpio, sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody those traits. It's also about the perception of these people. So having a Sagittarius sun, one may perceive the biological father as somebody that's jovial, jocular, enthusiastic, exuberant, upbeat, expansive, but at the same time may perceive this person as self-righteous, foolhardy, reckless, tactless, blunt, and even flighty. And the person may perceive, with the Scorpio moon, the person may perceive the mother as somebody that's very resourceful, incisive, passionate, probing, and deep, but may also perceive the mother as somebody that's overly secretive, obsessive, fixated, relentless, and jealous, or even vengeful or vindictive, as some examples. Now, look at this. Combination. Yeah, I would say can be a very good combination to like flourish in something like with law enforcement investigation, because Sagittarius Sun, again, the Sun is about what we want in astrology. This Sagittarius Sun wants the truth. They want veracity. Scorpio Moon has the emotional need to get to the bottom of things, to investigate, to solve mysteries, go beyond the surface. So, and Sagittarius has a connection with the law. So, the Sagittarius Sun wants, they often want things that are associated, with the law. And it could even be law enforcement. And again, the Scorpio Moon is, has that need to be investigative, go beyond the surface, dig deep, be probing. So I could see this person, flourishing in something with investigation, law enforcement in general, forensics, um, as some examples. And it just shows, you have, if this, I want to go back to the conjunction aspect. If you have an out of sign conjunction aspect with the Sagittarius Sun and Scorpio Moon, it may indicate in some cases that the biological father and mother would have a greater propensity to be together, during their life. But the thing is, though, remember, conjunctions are neutral aspects. It doesn't mean that they'd be completely compatible, but they would be. It just shows that they are. Could indicate that they are together, but you have during the time, at least, during, the course of their life, and little less likelihood for some kind of separation, divorce. But at the same time, one must look at, the individual synastry, that exists, the synastry that exists between those people's individual charts, and to see more of the synastry and compatibility, and that's where you would see more in that, I would say. But the thing is, it's just that, when you have, the Sun, Sagittarius Sun and Scorpio Moon, there is a strong disparity with the energies, just like most Sun Moon combinations, even though they're in adjacent signs, because Sagittarius Sun, the Sun being the basic fundamental character of the person, can be, again, very, jovial, upbeat, and jocular. It's a masculine sign, can be extroverted, wants to expand their horizons, and that can include, connections as well. And the Scorpio Moon, can be, more secretive, and can have difficulty, and even if it's on, more on an unconscious level, it would be difficulty letting, many people into their lives. So, and more introverted. So it's really, you're talking about a very strong contrast in energy with the Sagittarius Sun and Scorpio Moon. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.